Early morning on the outskirts of Oklahoma, a western farm's alarm blared. A herd of wild hogs had broken through the fence, raiding young cornfields and fleeing into the forest. No time to wait. The hunting team immediately set off in a Ram 1500 TRX to pursue the targets. The team leader commanded, "They're heading north, split into smaller units, and follow the main trail." From this moment, the hunt officially began. Everything had to be fast, precise, and controlled. No hog could return to the farmland. Minutes into the forest edge, hunting dogs' barks echoed. A mature boar sprinted across the tall grass toward the hillside. The leader signaled, "Hold the left flank." I positioned myself at the tree line, adjusting my aim. The target zigzagged, forcing quick decisions. One warning shot, a second precise round, and the boar was down. The team quickly secured the area before moving on. The sound of gunfire seemed to rattle other boars in the herd. From the forest edge, several dark shapes bolted almost simultaneously. Strategy shifted immediately. The team leader assigned a sharpshooter to the right while maintaining a central position. Shots were fired in controlled succession, picking off the targets as they tried to escape through the trees. The pace was swift and precise, yet careful, ensuring no careless mistakes. The hunting rhythm remained steady, avoiding loud noises that could alert the distant herd. Nearby, the recon team signaled via iPhone 17 Pro Max. Two boars were moving together, sniffing the old trail. The team leader whispered through the headset, "Only shoot if there's a clear shot." The first round hit the lead boar, sending the second into a panic, crashing into the bushes. No one gave chase. The team held position, waiting for the motion tracker's signal. Within minutes, the device indicated the remaining boar was circling back toward the west. I immediately shifted direction along a narrow dirt path toward a thicket of dry brush. The boar appeared suddenly, less than 10 meters away. A sharp crack echoed as my shot flew true, quickly neutralizing the target. I approached to confirm. No resistance remained. The massive boar was removed from the travel path, ensuring no impact on nearby farmland. I returned to the team to move into the open space between two forests. There, a dark figure was rooting through soft soil for food. To prevent it from reaching the cornfield, the leader signaled to halt. We approached upwind, avoiding any scent that might alert the animal. When it lifted its head, a single well-aimed shot brought it down. Another destructive target was under control. With fatigue setting in, the team leader decided to withdraw. On the way out, a lone boar appeared near abandoned land. Slow but extremely alert, it demanded a careful approach. The leader opted for a safe tactic: maintain distance, use the scope from afar. One clean shot ended the morning hunt. The team checked the area again. No traces of intrusion remained. The hunt concluded exactly as planned, keeping the farm completely safe and adhering strictly to US hunting regulations. Our hunt was not for sport alone. It was a mission to protect, a responsibility entrusted to us by the local community. This trip back to visit my dad in Texas was sadder than I expected. Standing before the barren, ruined sweet potato fields, the culprit was clear: wild boars. Furious and determined, I knew what had to be done. This hunt wasn't just for passion, it was to protect family. A plan was set in motion, but who would get the happy ending? Join me and find out. At the rally point, we discussed strategy, dividing into multiple attack teams. Static buzzed faintly through the radio headsets, binding us into one unit. Guns loaded, helicopter blades roared, the signal that we were ready. At first light, we arrived at rugged, rocky terrain, hunting the enemy's shadow. Suddenly, a huge dark figure burst from the brush, unaware its every move was already locked in our sights. Without a word, my team and I moved in perfect sync, pulling triggers as the helicopter swooped in to stop this destruction in its tracks. That opening shot was a vow. Today, not one wild boar would escape. Intense silence. Each gunshot from nearby teammates meant another enemy down. The sun climbed higher, heat thickening the air. The crafty boars split from the herd, darting into sparse woods, using trees as shields. They moved in arcs, trying to outsmart us. This was a test of patience. We didn't rush, but calmly tracked, predicting its path. Then, in a brief lapse, the bullet ended the deadly game of hide and seek. With grit and persistence, even the craftiest prey falls. One by one, the boars were wiped out. This was the reward of years of experience, courage, and unshakable trust in each other. After hours of battle, we paused to recharge, but the war was far from over. Flying low near bushes, we did a final sweep before moving to the nearby grasslands. When the last spray there fell, we pressed on to the flatter pastures. Luck smiled on us. We encountered a boar charging directly toward us, almost offering itself up. Seizing this golden opportunity, I aimed and fired at the zigzagging target. The stubborn last one finally surrendered. Gunfire scattered nearby boars, who bolted like black arrows across the field. Locked on a target and squeezed the trigger. Down went one. No time to cool down the barrel, I swung to the next. When hunter's work is one, the only outcome for the beast is the earth beneath it. From another direction, teammates' bursts took down more targets. We closed in like a vice, leaving no gap for escape. During patrol, we spotted a lone boar running across green grass. The helicopter closed in. My cockpit window pointed squarely at the target. At the perfect distance, I held my breath, locked the aim, and squeezed the trigger. Bang! The boar flipped and fell instantly. The noise startled nearby boars, who surged out in a tight line. We chased hard, calling James' team over the radio to cut them off. My gun roared non-stop, silencing chaos wherever the barrel pointed. James' crew arrived swiftly. He fired into the running shadows, hitting the lead boar. Dust exploded as it hit the ground. As one threat ended, my brother's shots rang out from the other side. Good. more boars dropped. My teammates nailed every frantic, desperate target. The hunt paused as the sun set, but we knew this war is long. Come fall, when fields dry and boars return stronger, we'll be back. When the target appeared, the helicopter closed in, giving me the perfect shot to take down the prey in a blink. No matter the numbers, there's no retreat until this land is safe. Our destination on this hunt was the vast sugarcane fields in southern Spain, where the thick cane groves serve as both a food source and a perfect hiding place. However, today, this place was no longer safe, as we, seasoned, skilled hunters, had arrived. I moved slowly, carefully scanning every step I took. Was there a sound from within the cane? Suddenly, a massive boar burst out unexpectedly. I was well accustomed to this kind of situation. With a lightning-fast shot, the boar dropped instantly as soon as it appeared. That reflex was honed through years of training, something I've perfected over time. With modern tracking equipment in hand, locating the wild boars became more precise and proactive than ever before. Suddenly, the device buzzed rapidly, the sound growing increasingly urgent. My grip tightened on the rifle, ready for whatever might come next. In less than a minute, a rustling noise broke the silence, followed by the appearance of the intruder. A swift, decisive pull of the trigger instantly took control of the situation, bringing the prey down. An indescribable feeling rose within me, not just the thrill of bringing down the prey, but the victory of human skill combined with the power of technology. In the sugarcane fields, the edge of the field was the area where wild boars most frequently appeared, because from here, they could easily slip into the neighboring forest if they were spotted. My team and I were ready for an ambush, and just as expected, a wild boar quickly appeared. The sound of the shot rang out sharply. Boom! The massive beast collapsed to the ground, and the whole team let out a sigh of relief. A perfect execution, denying it any chance of escape. The result exceeded our expectations. A wild boar weighing over 150 kilograms had been successfully subdued. The joy was overwhelming, marking another well-earned victory for the team's meticulous preparation and timely reaction. As we moved toward James' position, the hunting dog's bark suddenly echoed through the still air, this time more urgent and relentless than usual. Without hesitation, I slipped through the sugarcane, pushing deeper inside. The barks grew louder, my heart pounding with every beat, but my legs kept moving forward. With all my courage, skill, and precise judgment. There it was! Right in front of me. My finger tightened on the trigger. A clean shot, ending the tense standoff in an instant. Can you feel the thrill of that decisive moment? Not a moment to rest. We pushed forward another few hundred meters when the sound of the hunting dogs echoed once again. There was no doubt about it. The wild boar was close. Every sense immediately sharpened, focused on the increasingly distinct sound. The barking grew louder, and through the radio, my teammate relayed the boar's direction. It charged straight into my sights, but it was too late. One shot, and the chase was over. The skills of a hunter are always honed, ingrained in every hand that holds a rifle, because they are the key to our success. Mistakes are not an option. The hunt seemed to be nearing its end, but once again, the hunting dogs proved their worth. With their keen sense of smell, they quickly picked up the trail of the wild boar, following its distinct scent. No matter how good the boar was at hiding, it had no chance against the sharp noses of our trained dogs and our unwavering determination. And once again, peace was restored to this land.
In the dense, shadowy forest, ferocious wild boars brazenly destroy everything in their path. But today, they face professional sharpshooters, fearless hunters ready to pull the trigger in life-or-death moments. With thrilling ambushes and fateful shots, who will claim control of the forest today? Follow along to witness the peak moments and pick the most impressive hunt. At 5 a.m., John's team embarked on their mission, heading straight into the dense Hungarian forest. Upon arrival, the team swiftly dispersed, taking up pre-assigned positions. While scanning for traces of their prey, Jay suddenly spotted a wild boar right in his line of fire. Without hesitation, he gripped his rifle, aimed precisely, and pulled the trigger. The boar collapsed onto the dry grass, unaware of its fate. A cold, decisive shot kicked off today's breathless pursuit. In another corner, the team's top shooter, John, swiftly added another convincing kill to his record. Just minutes after settling into position, a wild boar lumbered through the dense trees, completely off guard. Seizing the moment, a resounding gunshot echoed through the forest, taking down the prey with a single, clean shot. Another impressive kill, solidifying the hunting team's prowess on this expedition. Moving to a new position, John suddenly spotted another wild boar, engrossed in foraging. It strolled casually, completely unaware of the looming danger. Then, a shot rang out, striking the prey's body before it could sense anything amiss. Immediately after, gunshots erupted from all directions, signaling that the others had been taken down as well. A flawless sweep, ensuring the beast's hooves could cause no further harm. Hunting in dense forests is already fraught with danger, but hunting in snowy mountains poses an even harsher challenge for professional marksmen. At this moment, a thrilling hunt unfolds on the snow-covered mountains of France. Another team of hunters has arrived, forming a tight encirclement around the frigid terrain. From his vantage point, a shooter keenly observes. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars bursts out from the opposite hillside. Without hesitation, he locks onto his target, and a bullet flies, dropping the largest boar in the group. The rest scatter in panic, vanishing in an instant. Determined not to let them escape, the radio crackles with reports of the fleeing boar herd's location. Upon receiving the signal, Leon swiftly scans the surroundings, tracking signs among the snow-covered dry branches. There it is, a wild boar hiding against the white snow. With precise aim, Leon pulls the trigger. Another threat is eliminated from this snowy mountain region. At another position, a shooter tracks the lingering traces of the wild boar herd. Suddenly, a boar darts across his line of sight. Without a moment's hesitation, a shot rings out, striking the beast and ending its escape in an instant. A decisive move, leaving no room for error, a clear testament to the skill of a seasoned marksman. In that situation, would you have a nerve to pull the trigger like that? This hunt saw the shooters reclaim control of the forest, protecting the land and crops from the boar's devastation. But for professional hunters, the journey doesn't end here. The battle in the deep forest is far from over. Are you ready for the next hunt? Don't forget to like, share, and follow to catch more heart-pounding hunts.
When you think of Florida, your mind probably jumps straight to sun-soaked beaches. But beyond the shoreline, this land stretches out into vast fields and sprawling farms, and with them comes a serious challenge: wild hogs wreaking havoc. These cunning creatures use the rolling hills and dense thickets as perfect cover to hide and multiply. Today, join my crew and me as we venture deep into these rugged backcountry terrains, exploring the landscape while taking on the mission to protect local crops and livelihoods. Our journey begins at dawn, when the early mist still clings to the hilltops. This is prime time. Wild hogs are most active after a night spent foraging. We have to make the most of this golden window. because though their vision is poor, once they catch the scent of danger, they vanish like ghosts. Dawn bore witness to a fierce showdown. The beast charged down the hillside with fierce vitality. My shot found its mark, but it refused to give in. I had to fire a second round, taking down that stubborn creature for good. Not a bad way to kick things off, right? Across the hillside, a lone target moves steadily. The world narrows through the scope, just the crosshairs and the prey. Without a moment's hesitation, David gently squeezes the trigger, and the bullet completes its mission flawlessly. The quarry is down before it even knows what hit it. They sow chaos everywhere. We plant seeds of peace in return. On this barren patch of territory, a solid shadow moves steadily. Suddenly, it halts, wild instincts warning of danger. Its hesitation is my chance. No way I'm letting it slip away. I squeeze the trigger, and BAM! The curtain falls as the villain meets its fate, the destructive wild hog. It stopped for a moment of doubt, and I acted to make the land richer once again. Leaving the hills behind, our pickup truck carried us down to lower ground. Here, the distance between us and the prey could be just a few steps. When a full-grown wild hog weighing hundreds of pounds bursts out from the brush, there's no room for joking around. Out of the brush, the wild hog suddenly charges. The only gap it has to cross is the narrow trail, and that's John's one and only shot. The moment it hits the edge of the woods, his bullet flies, putting an end to its desperate run. It runs on instinct, no strategy, while we win with one bold, skilled shot. The rustling in the brush signals the prey is about to appear, and I'm the last line of defense. When that massive wild hog tears through the undergrowth, charging at me like a suicide bomb, there's no time for fear. At the moment it's just an arm's length away, the shot rings out, taking it down on the spot. Does this pressure and ambush tactic deserve a perfect 10, guys? The tension thickened as dusk fell, with dogs barking loudly, signaling the prey was about to be pushed into the open. I gripped my rifle tight, ready for whatever was coming. Then it appeared. The first shot hit true, but the hog still charged toward the woods. The second shot ended its run forever, a perfect ending to a full day of hunting. Winter is here, with snow blanketing every corner. But the greatest threat we face is the wild boar. Fields are mercilessly destroyed, leaving behind a scene of devastation. In some areas, up to 70% of the crops have been lost, leaving the locals almost hopeless. We cannot stand by and watch our year's labor destroyed. We are ready to face this danger head-on. This hunt is not just about protecting the land, it's the last hope to save the livelihoods and survival of the community. The hunting vehicle rolls down familiar roads, bringing us straight to the hunting grounds. Despite the biting cold, nothing can stop our team as we rush to the designated spot. After a brief wait, the target appears. The moment the opportunity arises, the gunshot rings out and the boar falls. But the wild boar herd doesn't stop. They charge off with terrifying speed. Not letting them escape, I signal to my team. The sound of gunfire rings out in response, blending with the roar of victory. The opening battle is dramatic, giving us the strength to push forward in this challenging hunt. The morning sun begins to filter through the trees, and we continue our search for new targets. Wild boars tend to come out to bask in the sun at this time, and sure enough, the target appears. Quickly adjusting the scope, I squeeze the trigger. Each shot stays true to its mark. No mistakes. The boar falls, successfully brought down. A victory that saves this place from the relentless destruction of the wild boars. Seeing the boars begin to flood out into the sunlit patches, we quickly set up a blockade. The wild boars continue to emerge, seemingly unaware of the danger lurking nearby. Seizing the perfect opportunity, the shots ring out decisively. The strategy unfolds perfectly, and the spoils exceed our expectations. Accuracy and determination bring a great result. After the thunderous explosions of gunshots, the area falls eerily silent. But the danger is far from over. The boars are hiding deep within the thick trees. Without hesitation, we push forward, carefully scanning every hidden corner, not missing a single movement. There! They are here! I steady my rifle and pull the trigger. The bullets hit their mark one by one, without a single boar escaping. Silence returns, but this time it's the silence of victory. Focused on the boar in front of me, I almost missed the dark shapes lurking on the periphery. I immediately signal to John to intercept. Receiving the signal, he gets into position. As the target emerges, his movements are swift and precise. The boar is stopped in its tracks. Our perfect teamwork ensures we maintain control, second by second, under immense pressure. Before long, other targets meet the same fate. Swift and silent, no unnecessary sounds. We continue our sweep of the area. More wild boars emerge, flooding the place in larger numbers, both in packs and as individuals. The hunt becomes urgent, taut as a bowstring. Without hesitation, we split up and tighten the perimeter, setting a new trap. The tracks left in the snow lead the way. The distance between us and the prey shrinks. Then, a series of gunshots pierce the silence, cold and decisive, shattering the stillness of the deep forest. The pursuit ends, and once again, this place bears the mark of our absolute control. True hunters at work.